And so when I am in the middle of something and suddenly my mind just leaves the premises, there are no words to describe.
Normal sleepwalking.
Alzheimer's, a disease that slithers its way into our brains and starts devouring our memories, our thinking, and our speech. So intrusive, it is hard to detect. But once it awakens, there's not much that can be done. It takes its toll not only on the person, but their families, loved ones who will do anything to help. Enter Sarah Logan, played by Anne Ramsey. Sarah cares for her mother, Deborah, played by Jill Larson, who has shown signs of this slithery disease beginning to take its grip. Sarah reaches out to college student Mia, who seeks to document Deborah for her thesis. Mia offers financial incentives to Sarah with the reluctance of Deborah to begin documenting the struggles of this disease. After an intense discussion, Deborah agrees and Mia's team moves in. They set up cameras throughout the house to record footage of what exactly is happening to Deborah. Little do they know that the documentary they're looking to do and the condition of Deborah is more than they ever bargained for. As the team soon realizes, Deborah's condition continues to worsen, and self-inflicted acts start bringing the team to the edge of disbelief. Now, the acts that she was committing vary, but they were very intense, and there's one scene in particular, well, where Deborah decides to, you know what, you have to watch the movie because in this review, I'm going to dodge certain things because, like, I actually want you to watch this film. But once you see these self inflicted injuries and see how Deborah's condition continues to worsen, you start wondering if what the team is doing is the right thing. As things continue to worsen, we start hearing this name, Desjardins. Now, in this film, there is a disappearance from a killer that possibly has ties to Deborah and ties to exactly what is going on with her. Now, this movie grips you. As you continue to watch the decline of Deborah, we find that the connection between Desjardins and Deborah continues to unravel throughout this film, and strange occurrences happens to her, especially in one in particular where they found her passed out in the bathroom and she vomited worms and sand. Now, after this incident, Deborah went to the hospital, and well, this is where a lot of these films are documentaries where they start showing the difference between science, medicine versus paranormal. Like I said, this is where the film took a turn where it kind of blended these two things, and I'm to this moment I'm still very torn on this, but it did leave you a little more intrigued in exactly how they're going to wrap the Desjardins lore and the Alzheimer's condition that Deborah's experiencing. So, what are my thoughts about the taking of Deborah Logan? This movie is definitely a found. Now, if you have watched prior episodes of Lost or Found, you know I am a sucker for documentary style found footage. The fact that you have this disease, which affects millions of people throughout the world, some people that might know somebody who had Alzheimer's, but the fact that they took this disease and it turned into a documentary, and they kind of tossed in this whole Desjardins lore. So for me, if you notice throughout this whole review, I've mentioned slithery, I've mentioned fangs, I mentioned certain things that have to do with snakes, is because that's the way I view this disease. Now, the Mia character was interesting in this film, but Jill Larson playing Deborah Logan was amazing. Some of the scenes where there's one where you see her go down the steps, you see her at the bottom of the stairwell looking up. I mean, one of the good scenes where she's in the kitchen and all of a sudden she ends up on top of the counter. I mean, a lot of these paranormal aspects of this film were actually intriguing with the mixture of the disease. Now you throw in the whole Desjardins lore with, speaking of which, one of the things about this film that people talk about the most is the ending. To this day, this film still has one of the most shocking endings in horror, whether it's found footage, whatever kind of horror genre. It has one of the most shocking endings as far as what the fuck did I just see? Now, I was tempted to put it on this review, but I'm not, because I want you to go check it out, because if you're not fucked up by that scene, then hey, kudos to you. But if you watch that scene and say, what the fuck, then this is why this elevates this film a little bit more. Like I said, the Jill Larson character was great. Her display of showing aspects of this disease, her character was just awesome. Now, the most, I would say, the underrated person in this film is Anne Ramsey playing Sarah, because she showed the other side of it. She showed basically the daughter who's doing everything she can, but like you seen earlier when in the intro, the cost of taking care of somebody is astronomical, and the financial burden she had, where she basically gave in to bringing in a film crew. I mean, would you have done the same thing if you were financially strung out? I think most of us would do the same thing. But this is what, once again, makes this film more interesting, because there's a lot of moral dilemmas in this film. Like, for example, would it have been better to keep Deborah in the hospital? But for me, that's a tough decision, because you still want the person at home, but at the same time, that's another, what would you have done? Would you have kept Deborah in the hospital, especially as her condition worsened? And let's be honest, because of the paranormal aspect of this film, modern medicine was non-existent. Modern medicine can do anything. But yes, The Taking of Deborah Logan is an interesting film. A lot of the moments of gore were actually very well done. The next scene just still gets me. And, just her physical appearance as the movie progressed was incredible. So, what do you think about this film? Do you think this film is a memorable found footage horror? Do you like the documentary style of it? I mean, are you cautious and kind of reluctant the fact that they use this disease as one of the main premises of this film? Which I still think it was a good idea personally, because it kind of brings to light something that, unfortunately, like I said before, we might all have somebody who's gone through it, or known a friend whose family has gone through it. But yeah, this is a very interesting film. Now, when this episode drops, if you don't know by now, it's been 10 years since this movie came out, 2014. It's still one of the most talked about found footage horrors, and it will continue to be a staple of the found footage genre, because, well, like I said, that last 15 minutes of this film are fucking crazy. And to top it off, are they going to have a sequel to this? I know it's 2014, it's been a while, but the continuation of, I'm not going to give too much, because I am giving too much, but definitely watch this film. Taking of Deborah Logan, definitely a found. It is worth the watch. And I want to know what you think about this film. So, Lost or Found will be seen on Tuesdays. Thursdays, we are doing continual live stream reviews of films we watch. And definitely join us for Three Corners of Horror, because we want to hear what are your thoughts about these films that we're reviewing, and what other films would you like us to review. So join us every Thursday for Three Corners of Horror, except for this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. Please enjoy the time with your family, have fun, get no drama, just share this time to be with your loved ones and appreciate all those around you. If you eat turkey, gobble gobble. If you don't, enjoy whatever meal you have. Let me know what you cook for Thanksgiving. Leave a comment below. But yes, this is GR, Horror Fiend TV's Lost or Found. Till next time, peace.